Hey guys, it's Castro72 and I'm here with another Throwback Thursday for Nintendo Nation. This one's a very important game, Bobble. It's what I consider to be the best video game ever made. And honestly, I've always regarded this game as just my ultimate favorite. And basically it's because it's exactly what a video game should be. Simple play mechanics, lots of levels, and pretty much it's just altogether fun. And that's all you really need, you know? Simplistic yet challenging, very, very good game. Bobble was actually an arcade game first by Taito, and I guess I should talk about my personal experience with it. So the game was released in 1986, and it was ported to like a lot of different home computers and systems of the time. But my first experience with it was actually when I was on a family trip to Canada, and we were visiting some of my mother's relatives, actually friends of our family, and their kids took me and my brother to a bowling alley. And one of the kids, his name was Philip, he said, "You gotta play this video game." And it was Bobble, the arcade version. And I knew the game was coming out for the NES because, you know, I've read Nintendo Power and all that. But I really had no idea what the game was about. In fact, I thought from the screenshots in the magazine, it didn't look that great. I mean, it looked like a throwback game like Pac-Man or something. But after playing it, I realized how much fun it is. The object of the game is just to go through these mazes, and not in a Pac-Man style maze. Obviously, there's gravity where you're always falling. I guess they're more like labyrinths or something, and just eliminate the monsters in each level, all the way to the very end till when you can get to your girlfriends, who are trapped at the very last level. I forgot how. There's like I think there are 100 levels, but I can't really remember. Maybe a couple more because I think there's some secret ones. But basically, you're really human, but you've been transformed into a bubble-blowing dragon, and your bubbles can encase the enemies, and then you pop them, and they're eliminated from the board, and that's it. But in the meantime, there's all these power-ups and strange things happening. Like in this particular level, you could see me like racing, zooming down the level, because I pop a bubble that has a water spout in it. In the arcade, it looked a little better. But anyway, so after I tried this game in the arcade, I knew I had to get it for the NES. So when it came out, I went to KB Toys and I purchased it. And it was one of the most expensive games ever, really. I think at the time it was like, I paid $52. And KB, you know, KB had was sort of notorious for kind of like overpricing their new games. But I didn't open it right away. I think I got it like maybe in November or something like that. And I put the game away in a drawer because I knew Christmas was coming, and that's when I wanted to open it. It was sort of like a Christmas present to myself. And I can't believe how much self-control I had, but I did not open that game until Christmas morning. So I kept it in that drawer. I didn't wrap it or anything, but I knew I wanted to play it on Christmas, and that's when we did play it. Anyway, back to the game, I guess. As you can see, a lot of strange things happen. Like right now, like I killed all the enemies in this level, and like a whole bunch of carrots fell out of the sky. Like every bubble that was in the level, when you pop the last enemy, everything just turns into fruit or carrots or something. That happens when you accomplish little objectives in the game. I think like when you touch something special, things will happen like that. Let's see. Oh, also, if the bubbles like kind of glom all together and you just pop one, the whole big mass of bubbles will be destroyed, and you get lots of points when you get all the monsters trapped in bubbles and they're all clustered together like that, and you just need one big jump into the mass and pop everybody. You get a ton crap load of points. And here actually I was kind of amazed with how much I was actually still good at this game after not playing it for years. This level is obviously inspired by Space Invaders. You can see that. Oh, and here a giant diamond falls from the sky. I forgot how you do that. I must have touched something prior to finishing the level, and all the bubbles that were floating in the air turned into diamonds, and a giant diamond came from the sky. I remember in the arcade, it wasn't just diamonds, but I think like giant fruit also fell from the sky. And here, like, oh, here I touched that ring, and it sets off this spark that actually helps you. And you might also notice I'm trying to spell the word extend on the left-hand side of the screen. Oh, all of those turned into crystals. And anyway, those are random. Those letter bubbles. When you see them, you try to pop them because if you do spell the word extend, it'll move you one level. It'll warp you there. And I think you also get a free 1 life. And let's see. I think I actually do it in this video. I'm pretty sure I do. Actually, it was funny. While filming this video, I must have showcased a lot of the good things about this game, including like the special. I think there's one time that I get, and we'll see it in a little bit. I got the umbrella, which warped me several levels. What else? I got. Well, I won't spoil it for you, but you'll see a couple other neat tricks that I do in this video. Now, one thing about this game is you may notice that it does contain a lot of flicker, and it would be even worse if there was a second player. But that's just pretty much the limitations of the NES. In the arcade, it was obviously done a little better. But there are many different sprites, and you gotta hand it to the NES for handling all these different sprites. You know, it's pretty tough. This game did not use any special chips like Mario 3 did. It's just a standard, I don't know, whatever meg cartridge it is. And I don't know if you see me, I don't think I've died yet, actually, and I'm already at level 14. That's just because I've memorized the patterns, and it's like ingrained in my head. Like, I know exactly what to do. Like here, like, oh yeah, oh my gosh. There's a couple near misses here and there. Oh, and okay, there's a pair of shoes that makes me, like, run faster. So, my guy is pretty powered up, actually. I think I've got the candy where I can shoot my bubbles further. Oh, this is my first death on level 15. Because I just zoomed down there on the water spout. So you gotta watch it. Oh, I avoided those two guys. Yeah, I did pretty good on this level. Well, in the game in general. Still have four lives to go. I know that Bobble actually spawned several sequels. There's one called Rainbow Islands. I grabbed that cross and like it just filled the whole screen with water, killing everybody. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, it spawned several sequels. There's one called Rainbow Islands. Now I own that game. It's on the NES, and it's also on the PlayStation 1. Oh, and here's this. I'm sorry. This the umbrella, which helps warp me a couple levels down. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, Rainbow Islands, where it changed the play mechanics a bit. You shoot rainbows, and you're in your human form. And I don't think the 2-player version is available, at least not on the NES version. I don't think 2 people can play at the same time. But that game, unfortunately, was not as fun as this one. But there's also a Bobble 2, which is ultra rare on the NES, and it's also 1-player, and it's a little more true to the original. I do own it. I was lucky enough to find it for $25 at Video Games Etc. in Norwich back early before the big retro video game craze, and $25 was a great price, because now it goes for like hundreds. Like literally, like I think you can get a Bobble 2, and I think they call it the story of Bobble 2 or something like that, for literally I think like $500 loose for a loose cartridge. But I think one of the best sequels was a game called Parasol Stars, which was released for the TurboGrafx 16, and that game retained the 2-player the two-player mode, and the play mechanics are different, but they're just as fun. I think with that one, you have these little parasols, these little umbrellas, and you collect raindrops on the top of them, and you fling the raindrops at your enemies. Or sometimes you can use the umbrella to pick up your enemies. It's really a strange play mechanic. Other games that kind of follow in suit with Bobble are Snow Brothers by Capcom, which is, again, an ultra rare game, and it's on the NES. I wish I had it. Never really found it. Don't know if I'll ever own it because it's so expensive. Another game that'll go for hundreds and hundreds of dollars. And another game called Dan Doko Dan, which is available on Taito Legends for the PS2. And that game is kind of funny. It's sort of like a Bubble Bobble, but you're these little dwarves and you've got hammers and you gotta knock your enemies down, and then you pick them up and you throw them against the wall and they bounce. But Bubble Bobble is where it started. This genre of level after level of kind of mazes with monsters where you have to destroy them with a certain play mechanic. And it really, you have to look in the context of when this game was released. I mean, there was things like Super Mario Brothers 2 and Adventure of Link, which were these big, like, adventure type games, you know, that scrolling from left to right and, you know, collecting items and things like that. And this game actually was kind of a throwback to like things like Pac-Man, single screen things. And here's where I actually spelled the word extend. I got one up, and they moved me to the next level. But yeah, this is really a throwback to the older classic arcade games, which actually really works. And I kind of wish they would revisit this. They did. I should say they did. There are several remakes of this game, I think, on the DS, or sequels. They're probably sequels, which I didn't really get into. There was a game on the Saturn called Bubble Symphony, which was based on an arcade game, which is sort of a remix, I think, of the original of this one. I wish I got a chance to play that, because I hear it's excellent as well. What else can I say about this? The names of the characters are Bub and Bob. This is Bub. Bob obviously is the blue dragon. Oh, and if you don't kill all the enemies in a lot of time, you get this hurry thing, because there's I don't know if he'll show up, but there's this like bad guy. There he is, that guy in the corner. He's sort of like an evil Otto, like from Berserk, that's out to get you because you haven't completed the level in time. But if you kill the last guy, you're totally safe. Oh, in this level, all you really had to do is just watch all the bad guys funnel down, and you just keep blasting with bubbles. They stay there right in the middle, and you just pop all of them. Oh, and now I got a whole bunch of letters that I could collect. It's funny what you get. You get like green bell peppers, mushrooms, cucumbers, or those might be pickles. I don't know. A lot of different things. And another thing that's funny is, like, as you can see, this level is based on the enemy character sprite. It's like a little wind up. I forgot what these guys are called. They all have names. I don't have the manual near me right now, but I do still have. I own this game complete. I have everything for it. But obviously, this one is based off of that one wind up character, whose name escapes me right now. I was surprised by this game because it was developed by Taito, and prior to this, honestly, Taito didn't really impress me that much. I mean, I had Legend of Kage by them, which was okay. It wasn't great. Not like this game is excellent. Like I said, I consider it my most favorite game of all time. What else did I play by Taito? I mean, Operation Wolf. I rented that game, and that was just okay. I can't remember. Elevator Action. That was just okay. I mean, this one was really the classic one, and it's also going to be included on the new NES Classic, which releases this winter, and with good reason. I mean, Nintendo chose it because kids bought this game. Kids remember this game. This is a game that everybody played when they were kids. Word of mouth just got out about how good it was. And you went with things like Adventure of Link and Super Mario with all the scrolling and adventure type games. You think that this one would get lost in the crowd, but it's just so good. I should also mention the music. I mean, the music in this game is incredible. I think it's iconic, and I think that's one of the things that really drew me to this game. It's the same simple ditty, but it is so good. And it's just classic, and one of my favorite soundtracks of all time. Anyway, that pretty much sums it up. Bobble is a classic, not too hard to find. If you do run across a copy, I would highly suggest you get it. I think I found 2 copies out in the wild, in addition to the ones I originally owned from KB Toys. So I actually have 3 copies. And one I found I think at the Salvation Army. It's just buried somewhere. And here I think I meet my demise. These flying elephants, I think, kill me. Oh, there I go. Well, thanks a lot, guys, and thank you for viewing. Peace out.